All right, welcome to Ronnie's Sports Corner. I'm your host, Ronnie McKee. I have my guy Sam Week Shields with me right now.
What's going
Um,
on?
we're gonna be talking a whole bunch of AFC, NFL football today. So we're giving our whole predictions of how we want to, well, who we think is going to win each division, and also who we see going to the Super Bowl and also playoffs because only 7 teams in a loaded AFC division. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna start off in the AFC East. So we're gonna give a breakdown of each team and kind of why we think that they're gonna win and why we think they're not gonna be so successful. So AFC East, who you got winning AFC East?
Yeah, for the AFC East, I have the Bills. Of
The
course,
Bills?
I got the Bills. I do have the Bills coming out of there. Feel like they're already a stacked team. Josh Allen looked really well last year. Uh, Last year, I had him on my fantasy football team. I think towards the end, he started throwing a lot of picks, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still feel like they're
And he definitely
yeah.
started playing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I still feel like they're the strongest team out of there. I know the Jets are also in there, and Aaron Rodgers is a great addition to the Jets, but I still got them coming out. I would say the Dolphins, because the Dolphins are really stacked. I like how they look on paper. Sucks that Jalen Ramsey did get hurt. I don't think he comes back until like December. But even with that, Tua still put up great numbers. I don't know if you see in one of the preseason games. I think Tua threw a pick in the first play of the game, and so that was
Yeah.
just hopefully he can get back on track. But his production last season was amazing. I think he looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the league before. He ran into his injuries where he kind of got a concussion back to back.
He was the highest in passing yards.
Yep. And he had really good yards. And I think, it's a real strong team. Hopefully when, they're fully healthy, they'll be even better. But I still got the Bills coming through out of that East. What about you?
All right, so this is tough for me. I'm going to go with the Dolphins winning the division, mostly because I believe that if Tua stays healthy, that they have the best chance.
Yeah.
Because if you go like by your talent level, they might have the most talented team in the AFC East. Now the Jets are pretty talented too, so it's hard for me to say that. The Bills might be nah. The Patriots are most the least talented team by far, but
Yeah.
Bills given how they lost to Cincinnati, it left a lot of them with like we know how Stephon Diggs get when
Yeah.
he loses, he loses his mind most of the time too. Not just loses, he loses his mind.
I know how it goes. If he loses, he wants to get out of there. He is upset if he is losing. If he's not on the winning side, and that might just be the genetics, the genes of a winner of not wanting to. But it seems like he kind of throws a fit, and everybody else is to blame if they're not winning.
But that's the reason I can't pick the Bills because you gotta keep in mind, Stephon Diggs is a wide receiver one, right? You can't have your
Hmm.
number one guy upset. Now let's just think about this because they lost Devin Singletary, so they lost him. He's gone.
Yep.
They relying more on
Yep.
James Cook. That means you're relying more on, even though they wasn't running much anyway. We're not acting like they was
Hmm.
running a lot anyway. You're relying more on Josh Allen. Josh Allen hurt his arm at the end of last season because he was running so much. I don't know why he think he's a human truck stick or something. I don't know, but
I mean, he be trucking people out there now. I see why he would run the ball in certain situations. He do be
and
trucking
he also,
people.
he also got hurt last year because of the
Yep.
same reason. So,
Yep.
all right, and so that's my breakdown of Bills. Why I don't think they're going to win the division.
Hmm.
Jets. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure if they're making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to uh, you know, discredit them or underestimate them because, from what it looks like, Sauce and Aaron Rodgers, even though they're on the opposite side of the ball, it seems like Aaron Rodgers is getting acclimated there fairly well. I've seen a couple of videos of just like training camp ball and everything, and him catching up with the other players, whether that's the defensive or offensive line. I think the Jets also have the Hard Knocks episode right now. So
His offensive line is awful, by the way. I forgot to mention that. His
oh,
offensive line is awful. So, so you're relying on, what's he, 38, 39?
I
39?
believe so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think 39.
39-year-old quarterback with a bad offensive line. I'm not sure how mobile he is nowadays, but I'm pretty sure he's not outrunning defensive end and attack.
Yeah.
Defensive end. So, and given that the start this season, they start off against the Bills, Chiefs. I'm gonna say Cowboys. I'm not that high on Cowboys, but I'll say Cowboys. Yeah, they got a pretty tough schedule to start off with. So
Yeah. Yeah. I would say for the Jets, I do like the addition of Dalvin Cook. I think he'll be a workhorse there. He got some life left in him. I know, he was on the Vikings before. He had a lot of good production there. I think it'll just transfer over to the Jets, and that'll help out Aaron Rodgers a lot too. I think he just needs some more playmakers around him. And I know Alan Lazard also followed him.
I'm gonna say he got Alan Lazard, he got McCole Hardman, he got Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
And they traded Mims.
Mm-hmm.
He had somebody else. I forgot the other guy.
I feel like I can't exactly remember their schedule, but I feel like last season they had a decent start to the season. I didn't really watch them that much just because the quarterback situation was too difficult to watch last season. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna kind of tune out of these games here. But I think
Zach Wilson made his mission to try to give the ball to the other team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He said, I'm giving the ball to the other team, or I'm not giving the ball to my team. But one of the two is happening. So y'all might just want to run the football. If you don't run the football, the ball going in the dirt or to the other team.
But I'm real excited to see what Aaron Rodgers does on a new team. I think seeing kind of these quarterbacks that we hold on a pedestal, similar to Tom Brady, but don't want to bring him up. But seeing a quarterback stay on a team for most of his whole career, and in that back end of his career, go to a different team, maybe for just a different look, different reasoning. But we've seen, Tom Brady go over to the Bucks and, end up winning the Super Bowl. Interested to see what production or, what end result Aaron Rodgers can have on him moving over to the Jets. I'm interested to see that. Is it, a comeback story? Is it a count me out type of story? Just real interesting. Definitely will be watching just because, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the best. I know people got him ranked in certain places. So go ahead.
Quick question. You didn't mention the Patriots at all. So what was your?
Well, the Patriots, I'm not too sold on Mac. I don't necessarily. I'm not too sold on Mac. I don't want to talk negatively about him, of course, but just their whole situation. I think they probably need another year or so.
It's third year, ain't it?
Yeah, it is his third year.
It's his contract year, so I don't think he has another year.
He doesn't. It's make or break, ain't it? It's make or break, ain't it? But I see here that they did add Juju. That's a solid pickup. As well as Ezekiel Elliott, which I still
wait. Is Juju a wide receiver one?
Is he?
I mean, is he a wide receiver?
I believe so. I don't want to.
No, I'm joking. He's not a wide receiver one in
NFL. Oh no, I didn't hear the NFL part. I thought you just meant specifically for their team. If you're talking about NFL,
he is for the team. But I'm saying he's not the one in the NFL.
Okay, cool. Okay, I was just making. Okay, cool. Yeah.
But all right, so we got the AFC East down. We're about to go to the AFC North. So you got Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns. So who do you like out of that division?
Say that one more time.
So you got the Steelers.
Yep.
You got the Ravens.
Yep.
You got the Bengals, and you got the Browns. So who do you like?
Yeah. I think the obvious answer here is the Bengals. I like them a lot, but Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, him landing that huge contract. I feel like this upcoming season is kind of like, okay, prove, all that, all the talk you were talking, rightfully so. But kind of proven year. I see what I can actually do. Now that I got the money, am I going to live up to the hype? because that's what the fans are going to kind of look for. That's what the coaching staff is going to look for. You know, the organization is going to look for, making sure that he lives up to the hype. One thing that I did also, you know, what kind of leads me more towards the Baltimore Ravens is I'm excited to see what Odell Beckham does. I feel like he's been a little bit quieter than usual.
He
Just
tore
more
his
so.
ACL twice. I mean, it's kind
I
of.
know. I mean, fair enough. And I think, you know, of course, just Odell Beckham being part of that team. I think they're trying to put weapons around Lamar. Everybody talks about how Lamar does not have any weapons around him to actually throw to. That's why he's in the situation he's in. Go ahead.
I will say this: he easily has the best weapon that he ever had.
Yeah.
Easily, because he couldn't do much worse. I mean, when he won MVP, I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't name any wide receivers he was throwing to. The only person he named Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think about who he was playing with. I think you can name, you know, what's his name, Hollywood Brown,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go back and watch some highlights, and he dropped a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, so having that as your main target, other than Mark Andrews, it says a lot about like what he's able to do by himself. And to be honest with you, if you really sit over here and break it down, they was close to beating the Bengals if they quarterback. I'm trying to think about where the quarterback thought he was, okay? Because he was nowhere close to he was nowhere close to and we're talking about them possibly winning that game without Lamar Jackson and the quarterback doing something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's against the Bengals who, who went all the way to the AFC Championship. So it's hard for me to give it directly to the Bengals.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's gonna be a fight between those two right there. The Browns.
Yeah, the Browns, I don't even Deshaun Jackson needs some more reps. He's getting paid. That's all I'm gonna say. He's getting paid good.
Yeah. I'm about to say Deshaun Watson is the question. Because if we really sit over here and break it down, 3 years ago, he was possibly a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. I mean, possibly. I'm not. Yeah. It depends where you rank him. I'm pretty sure Brady and Mahomes 1 and 2. So if you put him above Aaron Rodgers, if you don't, I mean, it's a pick 'em really. But he was possibly like a top 3, top 5 easily quarterback. Now I'm not sure if you hear his name in the top 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So
but I do like. So I enjoy the Cleveland Browns on paper just because they look like they're supposed to win games, right? And they have been picking up a couple wins here and there. Nick Chubb, amazing. That guy got some wheels on him. Definitely, I like watching him play. Super exciting. Watch, exactly like you said, UGA. I like watching him play in college, but also at the pro level. But yeah, I think Deshaun Watson, he just need a couple more reps. I had to make sure that he, was in preseason mode because I was like, I talked to you a little bit about it, about people needing more reps in preseason just to get better looks. Just because I felt like a lot of people were sitting out.
The way he played last year, I'm not sure why he's not playing preseason. Like he played bad, and I know because like I put some bets in on him, man. It just didn't work out like at all. He's at 160 yards. Think about this, 160. Pat Mahomes was at 290 for the game. He was at 160, and he wasn't getting that. So let's just think about this. So he's got to go against Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, to a lesser degree, Kenny Pickett. It depends how you think about it, but they got a lot of weapons on still. It's like you got TJ Watt, arguably the best defense player in the game right now. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like, I mean, depending where you rank him, he like a top 3 safety in the NFL. Depending on where you rank him. And you got George Pickens, who he's a rising wide receiver star. Like he could enter like the conversation top. I give him top 5 by the end of the year. It's gonna be tough though, because 4 of those people, I don't see them moving. But yeah, that's the tough.
I was gonna say I know Joe Burrow got hurt, I believe.
I forgot about that. So given that Joe Burrow did get hurt, I got the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the Ravens. Definitely I just like everything I'm seeing. Like I said, I feel like OBJ's been quieter than usual. Yes, coming off of injuries, you got to kind of have that mentality of, one minor setback for a major comeback type of deal. But I like the way that it looks, man. It looks like he's adjusting well. He's going to adjust well wherever he's at, of course. But definitely interested to see what he does. Hopefully, Lamar is kind of force feeding him the ball. And that way we can see some bigger plays before OBJ is up out of here, not trying to rush his retirement or his career or nothing like that. But definitely excited to see him.
Well, I mean, Lamar definitely got more weapons now.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, he couldn't get worse. He couldn't get worse. Let's just sit over and break it down. He couldn't get worse.
Yeah.
But so I know we mentioned the Browns. What's your view on Pittsburgh?
So Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh is another situation on like, what does a quarterback situation look like? Is there going to be
It's hard for me to trust the guy because he's wearing gloves. I mean,
exactly. He's wearing gloves.
Like I'm trying to figure out like how you take a quarterback serious that's wearing gloves.
Yeah, and it's well, I can take quarterbacks that wear gloves a little serious. It just depends on Yeah, exactly. It depends on their production because he wears gloves on both hands.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking of who I'm thinking of. I automatically to my head I start thinking of like RG3. I think he used to wear a glove.
RG3 wore gloves for about 3 seasons, right? Because he didn't play too much more.
Yeah, that's true. Injuries, of course.
He didn't play too much more. So
Injuries. Exactly. Yeah, injuries, of course. But I think that's pretty much is what I could think of. But yeah, it didn't seem like people were happy in Pittsburgh. And then too, we didn't get a lot of production out of Pickens, and I was expecting to see how everything went with him. And I know he played good when he did get the opportunity to make plays on the ball, but other than that, I thought he was going to have like a phenomenal, outstanding year. He was going to be a wide receiver that everyone talked about, still was, but just not to the level that I thought.
I mean, your quarterback do got to get you a ball. That's a huge part of it. That's a huge part.
Exactly. That's why I said it's nothing on him. It's mainly getting the ball to your wide receiver. So also Najee. Felt like I lost track of him mid-season. Kind of didn't know where he was at as far as his production. So hopefully they can kick it in a higher gear. I know they play the Atlanta Falcons this week, I believe, coming up here as a preseason game. But
preseason.
Yeah, preseason game. But interested to see what they do. I'll be watching it at least for the first couple of series to see who's in there, who's playing, who's not. Like I said, I want to see everybody get some reps in these preseason games and make them viable reps, because I feel like the talent's almost I'm not gonna say not there. It just doesn't feel like it's there. It's missing something.
We're gonna circle back around, but we gotta go to the AFC. My bad, AFC South. My bad.
Yep.
So we went to the AFC South.
Yep.
All right. So you got the Texans, you got the Colts.
Yep.
You got the Titans, and you got the Jaguars.
Yes,
now, I do believe the Jaguars are a very, very good team, but honestly, they're winning this division by default.
Yeah.
You got the Texans, who they got some future ahead. CJ Stroud, Will Anderson, they got some future ahead. And I do like the Miko Ryans they coach.
Yep.
I do like it, but still, they are a long way.
Yeah, and the AFC South is tough. What you play 2 rookie quarterbacks with the Texans and the Colts having 2 rookie quarterbacks, and then Titans have a tossed up between quarterbacks. They're they're at like a three-man type of quarterback situation. One of them has Mayo, the other one came from a small school, and then the other one just can't get right in the
Titans
league.
And whoever you throw out there, to be honest with you, they said
they flip a coin.
They said Ryan Tannehill, you make the most, so we might have to throw you out there. But after a while, was he on franchise tag or did they actually sign him?
Oh, I'm not.
I
I'm
think
not
he has
even.
some time. I
Yeah,
think he has
I'm
some time.
not sure. He's been there and not getting that much stuff done. Uh,
He did pick up Hopkins though.
they did. They did. That's a huge signing. My
You
whole thing is it's gonna end up being a AJ Brown type of situation, or will he get upset that he's not getting the ball?
I
I don't know.
mean,
You got three shaky
here's the thing
quarterbacks.
about here's the thing about the Titans. They're always a run heavy like
Yep.
offense. I mean, you got Derrick Henry, so I
Of
mean,
course, you got to spam. You
it
got to
makes
spam Derrick Henry. You got to spam him.
but still, that's why they're just so bad in the playoffs because
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to be. They did go to the AFC Championship once. I give them that, but it's
Yep.
hard to be a run heavy like playoff team.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
it's just hard. Most of the time, the quarterback will win the game. I'm not saying every time because we do have some, but
Yeah.
most of the time, quarterbacks win the game. So, like I said, Trevor Lawrence is easily the best quarterback in that division. Yeah, I mean easily.
That guy's talented.
Like it's like a 4 point gap,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to be like nice when I say 4 point gap.
Yeah, and then we get to see, with Trevor Lawrence, we get to see a Calvin Ridley back out on the field after
I
his
think Calvin really is going to be huge for him because they was relying on Christian Kirk a lot last year.
yeah.
And Christian Kirk got that money, but he's not a wide receiver one. Let's be honest. He is not
Yeah.
a wide receiver one.
And
Like,
I like Christian Kirk. I like him a lot, but I do, like you said, I think Calvin Ridley will be that guy, automatically throwing on that zero once the league made it legal for everyone to wear, legal for players to wear zero and everything. Claiming that early on, I was like, okay, I know it's at the time he's on. Kind of that get back year of, I was suspended, had some
I
time to
mean,
grow, had some
he
time
was
to learn.
bad.
You
He
said
was
what? Yeah, yeah. But interested to see how he looks, what Trevor Lawrence, looks like. Of course, I believe, they'll be just fine. But I do have them coming out of there, out of the South.
But well, we're gonna circle around. We got one more division to talk about, and we're about to break down the whole AFC. All
Yep.
right, so last division, we noticed because they got probably the best player in football. So we're talking about the AFC West.
Yes, sir.
All right, you got the Broncos, who had a lot going on last year. You got somebody working out on the airplane and stuff like that. Got a lot going on.
They got
You
Sean
got
Payton as the coach over there now.
Sean Payton might work out with him on the airplane.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sean Payton probably not going for it, just like that office space.
You got the Raiders.
Yep.
They got Jimmy G at quarterback now.
Not enough.
And they lost Darren Waller also. They lost
Yep.
Darren Waller, so that's huge. You got the Chargers now. The Chargers they're low.
Mm-hmm.
They are low now.
Yep. Chargers look real good, man. I like them. I like the
And
Chargers.
you got the Chiefs.
Yep.
And the Chiefs.
Boogeyman.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right here. The Chiefs got the most arrogant team in the NFL because they won the championship last year.
Yeah.
They lost to Cole Hartman. They lost Juju. Do you realize, as far as a big name wide receiver, they didn't pick up a big name wide receiver at all?
I mean, when you got somebody like Travis Kelce, do you got to go and pick up a big name wide receiver? That guy was open 80% of the 80% of the time.
They lost Frank Clark. They didn't pick up a single big name defense player.
It's crazy. They said we're gonna outscore you.
Like the arrogance of, but also to we going off of the topic. That kind of shows how great Pat Mahomes is, though. Given that, to be honest with you, he doesn't always have the most talented team. Now, when he had Kelsey, he had Hill, McCall Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. When he had all of them, yeah, they were pretty talented. But these past 2 years, I mean, well, I can't say 2 years because Tyreek Hill just left last year. But last year, he didn't have the most talented team.
Right. But then too, I just think the system that Andy Reid has created over there is, amazing. I don't know if you've seen the little quarterback special on Netflix. It was Kirk Cousins, Marcus Mariota, and then Patrick Mahomes, and you got the insight and kind of behind the scenes of how much work ethic goes into his production and his numbers, how much he invests in his body, his health, and everything like that. And then I believe they were talking about how in their practices, they're able to come up with different plays. I feel like that's a little bit of, I don't know, I haven't heard of any other teams, doing something like that, which I'm pretty sure they do. But, hearing that on a large platform, and you speak about, some arrogance of a team being able to, on random Wednesdays, make up plays with your team, and these plays possibly getting called in a game for you to score touchdowns. Blowing my mind on on how stuff like that works, but then also too just shows like the system and the culture they created is crazy. So I definitely still got them coming out on top. Back to it.
But here's the thing though. All right, so you got them.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you believe could challenge them in that division? Who would best challenge them?
The Chargers. The Chargers, of course. Yes, I got the Chargers challenging them most. Chargers are super, super talented. But like Justin can only get.
So they super talented. I need to hear what's the reason that they won't keep the Chiefs, as far as like they won't be the top team.
I feel like Justin needs a little bit more time. No, what do you think?
I mean, he got weapons, so I'm trying to figure out like what
right. Typically, when we see the when the teams are both stacked up, it's about now who has the best quarterback. I feel like it's not always like that, like you said earlier. It's not always who has the best quarterback. But when it comes to Patrick Mahomes as a big playmaker, I would say probably the best player in the league right now. That makes a huge difference. So if I can stack up against you, wide receiver, running back, close enough. And the one thing that I, can edge out on is being the best quarterback on the field, the best playmaker on the field, the best decision maker on the field. That's what I feel like separates him.
But here's the thing right here, and we're about to break this down. Chargers versus Chiefs. Wide receivers, who you taking?
Probably Chargers.
It's easily the Chargers. You got defense, Chargers, Chiefs, defense. Who you taking?
Probably got Chargers.
Okay. Line. Well, I give the Chiefs the line. I give the Chiefs the line. They had one of the best lines in the NFL last year. So you just gave 2 out of 3, and if you want to put special teams in there, I'm not gonna ask about special team. I mean, if you want to put it in. But so you got 2 out of those 3. So the quarterback made that much of a difference. Now we're not acting like Justin Herbert isn't good. Now Justin Herbert can play.
I believe it. I'm saying though, and we've seen it time and time again. All the Chiefs have to do is just get something going between Pat Mahomes and Travis, and then it's kind of game over from there, right? We've seen wide receivers on the Chargers kind of move to the side. I forgot who their running back was. He had a great year. The Chargers. Oh, yep. He had a good year. Hey man, I like him a lot. He's super talented. But and I might be starstruck just because they just freshly came off the Super Bowl. They're the defending champs. But I've seen what that man Travis can do when it gets in tough situations. I think I've seen him in one game score about 4 or 5 touchdowns. It's actually craziness what happens on that field. So you got the best quarterback as well as the best tight end in the league. Once they start getting going, unless you can shut them down, which I have yet to see, Travis be completely shut down by any team in the league, then it's gonna be a hard day. I still got them coming out.
All right, so now I got Chiefs coming out too. All right, now it's prediction time. We got 9 minutes left, so we about to give our predictions.
Yeah.
You got 7 teams that go to the playoffs in each conference. Who is your 7? Now keep in mind, I'm going to ask about the teams that's left off.
Well, you go first. Give me your 7.
All right, so we
I'll
about to
tell you
bring
if
it
I
back.
agree.
I got Chiefs, Chargers.
Okay.
Obviously, I got the Jaguars, so that's 3.
Yep.
I got the Ravens, Bengals.
Okay.
That's 4 or 5. And I got Dolphins, Bills, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
So
I agree okay. I agree
go
with
ahead.
everything that you said. I got the same exact setup. I think if I do want to throw a little curveball in there, I'll probably, be biting or turning back on my words that I said earlier. But unless I see something different, it might take a game or two for me to see something different. But I still don't think Tua is 100%, if you want me to be honest. So I don't agree. I don't agree with the Dolphins take. I would probably do Jets, but I don't agree. That's the only thing. That's the only place where we swap. I don't think Tua is 100%. I don't think, and they talk about it all the time. When you get knocked out, when that cerebellum gets shaken a little bit, you're kind of never the same. But just based off of what I've seen, and of course it's preseason, and then towards the end of the season, whatever. I don't believe in it just yet. I have to give him a game or two to see what's going on.
All right, so here's my thing right here. It is solely based on if Tua stays healthy. All right, so let's not act like I'm saying if the backup in there, because first of all, they got to beat the Jets and the Bills. So,
yep.
I mean, I don't see a backup doing that. So, this is all based on if Tua stays healthy. Now, if Tua isn't healthy, I got the Jets taking their spot. But what's hard is, do I think the Chargers are going to be, in that spot other than the Jets or Dolphins? I mean, out of all the teams, because I don't see the Ravens getting pushed out. The Bengals might get pushed out just because Joe Burrow ain't playing the first 5 or 6 games. Now, it's all speculation because we don't know how long he out for.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 to 6 games, but we don't know how long he's out for.
Yeah, and with they doctors, they could be back even sooner. I think Jalen Ramsey is supposed to be out to January, something like that. But they talking about earlier. He was talking about earlier in that, I believe. But yeah, sometimes with these players, they'll come back a little bit quicker. They just need a couple of shots, a little bit more stretching, a little bit more training.
Yeah, they taking some other stuff nowadays, but it's not. So, it's about to be the end of the show, so we about to go with the last one. We about to go with who's your team to make it all the way through the AFC.
I got the Chiefs again.
Got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
I want to say the Chiefs, to be honest with you, but I'm going to throw a curveball. Going with the Ravens.
Ravens? Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the Ravens being there. If they get there, that will be huge for Lamar. That would be huge for OBJ. That would be huge for the whole organization. But yeah, okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Why do you got them over the Chiefs though?
It's delusion. Like it's nothing else. It's no fact that can tell you that they should be over like the Chiefs are. The Chiefs have went to the AFC Championship the last 5 years, I believe. So I mean, it's just delusion,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The fact that matters is like the only team that has been able to knock them off in that division is the Bengals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I like that. I like that rivalry though. I like that. I don't even know if it's a.
I think that's gonna be a growing rivalry just because I think it's kind of gonna be a Tom Brady Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to say which one is better. Well, it's not hard to say. Pat Mahomes is, but you really sit there and break them down in a vacuum. Joe Burrow is like he's not far away. Like he's not far away.
He definitely his ceiling is high for his potential. I think we're just seeing Pat Mahomes kind of in his prime right now. So that's the only thing, the only difference right now.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll be back next week to give y'all the NFC, our NFC predictions, breakdown, everything like that. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. We'll be back next week, like I said. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you again.
Deuces.